We're here on Andy's Golf and Travel Diary with LP Reistetter, a Cornell-educated golf course architect. LP, the Tobacco Road course here. Your thoughts?
Number one, spectacular. Number two, spectacular. And number three, spectacular. Michael Strantz did a great job 16 years ago. Unfortunately, he's deceased now, but his legacy will live on for as long as these people maintain and own this unbelievable piece of property. This old pit was just transformed into a Scottish-Irish style type links, as well as you got some pines. You got a combination of Pine Valley, not so much Pinehurst per se, although Pinehurst is only 20 minutes away, but it's just spectacular. You've got some blind tee shots here and there, but you also have direction with mounding and some of the trees on the sides. You also have the growth here and there and everywhere, so you can always pick something out to have as an aiming point. You can't have any excuses for not having a shot, something to look at to shoot at here. Yeah, we took a nice tour this afternoon. A little warm, but as you can see, what he's done, he's just excavated out. It's just a sand area here, and he's got using the sand as the main feature. But he also has the fescues, grasses, the greens. He's got some of them up on plateaus. He's got some down in low areas. Some of the greens are dells, like the Dell hole in Ireland, where you're going to hit a shot in there and it's going to funnel down to the center of the green. And a lot of the areas in the back do have sand areas. If you do go long, you won't go into the higher stuff. But multiple tee boxes. I don't know what else to say. A lot of strategy, a lot of carving out of the sand. It's just spectacular.
Your favorite holes here?
I'd say 18 favorite holes. I think you knew I was going to say that. We had talked to one of the owners earlier, and the 9th, I believe, and the 15th was two of his favorite. But right from the get-go, you are every hole's different. There's not one hole that even comes close to looking like another hole, and that is a true good mark of a great golf course. You got different directions, so you got different winds. Although a lot of the holes you are down, so you're not going to have as much wind, at least where you are. But if you hit the ball high, it's going to affect it somewhat. But visually, it's very, very exciting, if you will. Maybe even scary on maybe a third of the holes. I think the 16th there, we were trying to figure out where the fairway was, but it's there. You know, you're definitely going to need a guidebook to get you orientated for the first time. But once you play it, I think you'll want to come back many more times to play it. So.
We've seen several lady golfers out here.
Yep, we have. So they're, yeah, you're on the par 4s and 5s, I think you do have an area where you can place the ball out there somewhere 120 to 150 yards from the most forward tee. So that's good. Although I'm looking at the 18th here, but as you can see, there is a set of tee boxes up on the high side. So yeah, you can play it. Not overly long. I mean, it's not 7,000 yards. I think it's 6,500 from the backs. But the so-called character. What's the character? Well, the character is natural. You can't get much more natural looking than this. You got your pines. You got your scrub pines, you got some oaks, trees, but you don't, they're kind of defining holes. You're not really in them, if you will. There's a lot of landing area out there. You got to hit one pretty bad to actually get into the trees from what I can see. So, you know, it is, what you see is what you get.
Well, Pete, tell me a little bit about your design career. I know you went through the same program at Cornell that Robert Trent Jones Sr. did. You were a protege of Bill Mitchell down in Florida in the early 70s. Did some work for Alex Alexander at the Enjoy Golf Course in the mid-70s. Tell me a little bit about your design philosophy.
Well, my philosophy is going to be, I'm going to say Mr. Mitchell he kind of designed more for the masses, if you will, back in his era. And he worked with Orrin Smith when he got into it. in maintenance and in construction. Orrin Smith actually was on Donald Ross's construction crew. He was one of the superintendents. And so Mr. Mitchell, he didn't like to waste too much, okay, if you will. He was a very smart man. He always looked for good drainage in his designs and stuff, playability. I got with him at the tail end of his career, just prior to his death. He actually was commissioned to do the home of the LPGA back then, 1972, in Savannah, Georgia. There'll be 2 courses there for the LPGA, and I got involved on the greens designs of those. Unfortunately, it never got built at that time with his passing. But so yeah, he did a course in Portugal, Quinta del Lago. I did the routing on it, and at the time it was Mr. Mitchell. At the time it was one of the, I guess it was cool to say, it was one of the more cleverly laid out courses over there in Portugal and in Europe. But I went back upstate New York and did a lot of little redesign work. Delhi College, we got involved in that with a new 9 there, myself and a couple landscape architect graduates also. And a company called our companies that got golf course construction, so we worked on a few courses together. But yeah, this type of design here is for excitement, if you will, okay? It's for people that want to play exciting golf courses. You're near Pinehurst, so people who go to play Pinehurst courses are definitely going to come and play this course. And Michael Strantz, he did what he did. He did a great job. This would be, I would say, an exceptional design. That type of thing, okay?
So LP, tell me a little bit about your love for the game of golf. What brings you back to the practice range or the golf course, or what brought you first into the game?
Well, as you know, in my studio up in Cary, I got a picture of myself and our father. I started young, you know. I had a club in my hand when I was 1, and I'm a few years older than that, 60-some years older than that now, and I've been, oh, it's a Titleist. I've been involved, actually, design. I always wanted to be designers. When I was a little kid. I was a good golfer, very good golfer, but I knew I wasn't good enough to be a tour pro.
Played at Cornell.
So when I went to Florida, got down to a 4 handicap, BK, before kids, you know. And yeah, so I've been that. I actually worked in the maintenance area down there at the LPGA National. After Mr. Mitchell, the recession hit there in 73, 74, so I worked for him part-time. And I worked to learn maintenance, so I was on the maintenance crew there for 5 months, and then decided to head back up north, which I did, and then I started designing the parks and golf courses and such up there. So right now I've been in retail the last 5 years, so I got my hand in it, so to speak, but it looks like I'm going to be turning more back into the artistic end of it. Into doing paintings of some of the holes. That's why I'm here today with my brother Ann. He's going to be doing a lot of writing about this course, and hopefully I'm going to do some sketching and painting about it. So,
well, LP, thank you very much for being a part of Andy's Golf and Travel Diary, and especially want to thank you for that Ben Hogan 5-lesson book you gave me when I was 12, and inscribed that golf is a lot like life. The more you learn and understand about it, the easier it is to meet its challenge. And
well, thank you. See you, brother.